Hey everybody, welcome back to our second one-shot of Eberron, which I will be running for everyone here. We are titling it Eberron New Blood, and by we I mean I, because all of them have recently found themselves into Wayfinders. Just as a bit of a recap or a reintroduction of Eberron, Eberron is a magical realm in the D&D universe, in which magic has developed as though it were science. There is the mythology of three dragons, and then on top of that mythology rose the world of Eberron. Eberron is a place where all the different peoples and races that you're used to in Dungeons and Dragons have a slightly different flair. You have the noble goblin houses that fell into ruin after the humans and elves came and took their lands. You have halflings, usually known for their hospitality, but in this case, there are also a subsect of cannibalistic dinosaur riders. It's very interesting setting, and I thought it would be fun to try to play around with it for our first one shot. You come back to our heroes who are in the city of Sharn, one of the largest cities in all of Corvair. The City of Towers is what it's called. It's a multi-level layer cake of different types of people going throughout. And as they all came together to attempt to become Wayfinders, they found that they all needed to group together because it was not a single person entry, it was in fact a team entry. They fought through some different trials here and there. They ate some very, very spicy soup. They managed to solve riddles to get their way around. To get their way around places. They fought in a few fights and finally had a skiff ride to the finish, which they won, which means that they are now all officially members of the Wayfinders Guild. So let me give a little bit of primer first that I need to explain both to the players and to anybody who's watching. In Eberron, there is something called dragon-marked houses. These are houses full of people who have been marked by a blessing from the dragon Kyber. They have the ability to perform certain magics and certain functions better than anybody else. And what this resulted in is a bunch of monopolies in corporate organizations. You have many different houses. You have the House Lorandar, which is known for their airships and their ability to control the weather. You have House Kundarak, who's known for their banking and shrewdness. You have House Midani, which is known for its ability to sniff out the truth in situations. You also have House Orion, which is going to be playing a bit of a part in this game because we are going on the Lightning Rail. The Lightning Rail is a magical train network that is basically like a bullet train. It is powered by dragon shards, which are pieces of magical power that are found in crystallized form that are said to be made from the dragon Kyber. They are able to do a few special things, but one of the most notable things they're able to do is produce the ability for airships to fly and the lightning rail to go. So there are certain houses that have monopolies on this. House Orion is one of them. They have the monopoly on the lightning rail. They are the only ones who are able to control it, and as such, it is their baby. Let's see, what else do we have for that?
They made an ancient dragon into a train?
Yeah, parts of it, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's just
why not, I guess?
So the way that it works is they mine up pieces of what they say is an ancient dragon. This is all hearsay, but hey, it works. And then they put it into the train, and that makes the train go really fast, like super fast.
Good enough for me.
You work with it.
Exactly. So as you all found yourself flying towards the gem, you touched your Wayfinder stone to it, and as you did, a resounding gong rung out into the square. There was cheering, there was elation. You calm down, you park your skiff, you come out, and you meet with Kiva Irdane, the woman who is running the competition. She is of a noble house and happens to be the daughter of the founder of the Wayfinders. She looks ahead and says, "Congratulations to your group. Do you have a name?"
No, I don't think we've ever thought about it.
Should we have one?
Regardless of whether or not you've thought about it, congratulations and welcome, new blood, to the Wayfinders. You
Oh,
will be...
is that where the title of this game come from?
She says, yes, but shh, that breaks the fourth wall. Yes, I said the name and... Okay, I said the title, thank you.
Yes.
She looks out to all of you and says, congratulations. Your valiant efforts and shrewd abilities have found you as the winners of this competition. The next thing that we'll have you doing, and as she starts to say this, a girl with red hair pushes her way through behind you all and said, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. I should have won, and they cheated. I don't know how they did it, but they did. And she looks to all of you angrily. And I would like all of you to, as you stare back at her, can I get some deception from all of you?
Deception.
No? Maybe. Ah, okay. Did that send it over? Let's see.
It did.
Cool.
We're not good at this.
Okay.
I mean...
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Ooh, a 5. This isn't a group check per se. This is she's eyeing each one of you.
Oh, no.
And so she looks at all of you. Let's see. Jorah, you look nonplussed. The person who did the cheating.
Yeah.
You completely straight-faced like you're crazy. But Graf, you have kind of like a look on your face. You do remember seeing Jorah actually jam that thing under their wheel to block them from doing stuff. She looks at you and says, you, admit it. Admit that you cheated. And as she starts marching towards you, her green eyes glaring at you, you hear Kiva say, that would be quite enough. Lady de Lorandar, and you see the red-haired girl have her shoulders up as she slowly turns, and Kiva continues. Lady de Lorandar, you knew that one of the rules of this competition was that if you were a named member of one of the houses of Dragonmark, that you would be automatically disqualified from this competition.
That sounds like cheating to me.
She stands there for a moment. Does anybody have a passive perception above 15?
Not I.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I don't even know where to find that.
It'd
Right
be
below your skills.
whatever your perception bonus is plus 10.
Oh, no, 13.
13. Okay. So as she's standing there, you see her just wipe her face quickly, and then she looks up and says, I would make a perfect Wayfinder. I should be allowed to compete. I shouldn't be held back by my family. And Lady Kiva says, that is not my decision to make. You are a member of a house, and you are spoken for. You know this. We cannot take you into the Wayfinders. I'm sorry.
You're already special. Leave this to us.
What was that? Oh, I see. So as you say that, her head whips around to you and she stares daggers.
Those are the rules. The rules are meant to be followed.
She looks to all of you, and then you see her giant Warforged guard say, "Ma'am, we should go." And she just looks up at him, and then glares at you guys one more time, and then says, "Fine." And she walks off with him. Lady Urdain continues. In the next part of your journey, I invite you to board the lightning rail, where you will make your way to Fairhaven, our headquarters. There you will be given your first assignment.
That's
and
fast.
At this point, I would like to know who thinks that their character knows anything about the lightning rail.
Sure. I will.
It's entirely possible that you came here on the lightning rail. The lightning rail is the main mode of transportation quickly. It was in previous years mostly, during the last war, it was mostly for storage and transport of goods to zones to and from, and also for transporting things. It's still in that capacity, but since it's not as necessary as a supply line, it has been converted more and more as time goes on into a transport service as a primary thing for civilians rather than for wharf runs.
Okay.
Right now, it looks like Tiki's character is actually just a giraffe.
Oh yeah, I guess it's cutting off a little bit.
Nice. Yeah. I think Jorah would know of the lightning rail, but has never had the opportunity to get on it.
Well, and anybody can give me a history check to whether or not they would know that about the lightning rails if you want.
Yeah. Cora definitely does not know.
Okay.
Yeah, no way.
All right, an 8 from Azazia. Azazia, how did you get to the city? Do you know? Did you just walk?
I flew,
Came down.
maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
came straight from heaven.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
All right, feathers.
His memory's a bit selective on things like that.
Boy, are his arms tired.
Woo! All right, and so with that, I would say that Jorah, you have a bit of understanding of this. Also, if you guys in Roll20 real quick could change to your characters' names so that I have more of a visual on who's rolling what where.
Also, while you're at it, could you guys turn on your 3D dice so we can have everybody's dice on
Oh,
the map?
that's right.
Yeah,
I
sure.
do need to turn on 3D
How?
dice.
How do I do that?
It's in the settings, the last little tab there, the cog, and then if you go down through the settings, it's going to be below, like, advanced keyboard shortcuts, window pop out.
And it is
Ah.
enable 3D dice and automatically roll 3D dice so that when we go...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll roll the history just to
Woo!
see it go.
You don't necessarily have to turn yours on, James, unless you want to
No,
not
I'm
hide
good.
your rolls from us.
Yeah, I think I'll keep them hidden just because I'll be rolling in various places depending.
Right.
That's what I figured. Cool.
Did that come through for Charles though?
Yes, I saw it.
Good.
Cool. So I guess
All
that's
right.
my history check about the train. I know that whatever you say.
5 again.
Yeah, 13, you're good.
Yeah.
5
You-
minus
I know
1.
of it.
I don't know shit about shit.
Graf, where are you right now?
This is Brelin, right?
No.
Yes, it is.
Good.
Wait.
I'm where I'm meant to
Where am
be.
All right. So she invites you all to stay the night at an inn, and then in the morning, you will start getting onto the lightning rail. It will take some time to get to Fairhaven, as it is quite a long journey. You'll probably be on the train due to all the stops that it will be doing for about 2 weeks in total.
My God.
2 weeks.
Hey, Tick, could you mute?
I muted her here, so
Oh, you muted her there. Okay.
we're
Yeah,
good.
that's fine then. Don't worry about it, Tick. It doesn't matter. I can just ignore you. Moving on. Was there anything downtime-wise that you guys wanted to do on your night before you went ahead and went out into the world on the lightning rail?
Oh, you mean specifically in the town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is me giving you guys an RP opportunity as well.
Mhm.
I think the first thing Graf would want to do is just like get to know people.
I agree. Would they have told us, now that we're part of the Wayfinders, are we like individual members, or are we a group in the Wayfinders? Like, we are a group now and will forever be a group.
It hasn't been brought up to you. If you would have asked Eardane, she would have told you that you don't have to stay as a group, but it's easier for ticket purchasing if you all travel together.
At least this one time.
We get a discount if we have 4 or more people.
Okay, makes sense.
Jorah would probably point everybody to a really good inn. That has the combination of like the drinks are okay, but like they're a fair price. The food is the same, like it's not suspicious, but it's also a fair price. And at any point where where Jorah is alone, she's going to stop by. She's going to go to one of the seedier sides of town and hit up one of the orphanages that she,
Aww.
do. So she's going to go give them a little bit of. Did we get any cash winnings?
There was a
so.
cash prize. I believe
Wow.
it was 500 gold.
Okay.
Nice.
Split
So
between
that-
all of you, that's 100 gold each. So make sure to mark that on your character sheets, and thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. Okay.
I refuse to give you things unless you ask for them. Don't search bodies, tough crap.
Where's
Okay.
that even go?
All right. So yeah. So she'll make sure that she stops by and she leaves like 20 gold with a couple different like
If
with the one that raised her.
if you don't mind, what you would likely do in this
Yeah.
is you would find one of the Civis message stations.
Yeah.
And with that, you would, since you don't want to necessarily be seen going to these places, you pay for one of the neatest things that exists in Sharn, and that is the Gargoyle delivery service, where
Oh,
you have
yeah.
a gargoyle actually take your package for you like an Amazon drone.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So she
Actually,
yeah.
in the lore, I love Eberron.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just with a note that says, from JT. Or wait, no,
Yeah.
from JF. JF.
Yeah.
So.
And that is what you do. So you go ahead and send out the money that way. Yeah, I'm gonna say you know a guy that reduces the price for you. So, but are you basically giving away all your 100, or are you just getting rid of a little bit?
I'm gonna total away 50.
Okay, so mark that off on your sheet, and then you go
Okay.
ahead.
Do I
and-
have that starting goal that comes with our character creation?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Which is what,
I have
10, I
15.
think.
15 on mine.
Okay.
So 15, so I have 65 left.
The last
Okay.
5 was probably stolen.
Do
Go
Go ahead. No, you.
I want to know your question.
I forgot it. Oh no, I remember it. Does my character know if it's colder up north? Is it colder up north?
Not particularly, as far as I know. Once you get really north, it could be, but I don't think that there's much of a change in temperature from Fairhaven to Sharn.
Okay.
I mean, Sharn's also got an urban heat bubble, like a crazy urban heat bubble, because there's lava pools underneath it. So
All right.
That's kind of crazy.
there are no stars in. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so if we're at that inn,
Mhm.
Core is definitely imbibing. Certainly.
Yeah.
All right. And did you guys want to? Did you just want to hand wave that you all get to know each other better? That's fine if you do.
Nah, we should talk a little.
Yeah, questions
Okay.
come up.
Yeah, I think so. I would, probably introduce myself more so than before. Talk about. Actually, I don't even know what I would specifically talk about. Just trying to get to know each other. The reason I joined this competition was to see the world and to have goodness brought throughout the land. I feel that that's sort of my job while I'm on this plane, and I'm curious what everyone else thinks.
What do you mean by goodness?
Well, I don't know. I've never really been asked that question before. Just good. I mean, it's a moral absolute to do good.
So, saving people and I guess that sort of thing.
Can you rephrase your question?
You're the one who's trying to do good. You should know what it means.
Yeah, I mean, less suffering, more enjoyment, more happiness in the world. People having better quality of lives, I guess. Finding and destroying evilness that exists on this plane and sending it back to where it came from.
Is winning good?
I don't think winning has a good or bad. But it does feel good to win. So, yeah, if you win stuff and you feel good from it, I'd say that that's good.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
A little halfling waitress comes over and says, "Was there anything else I could get for you all?"
another round?
I am
Absolutely.
kind of in the mood for a spicy soup. Do you have any of that?
She looks at you and says, I mean, it's no lava pool soup, but I can see what I can do.
Sounds good. And I kind of like look at the rest of the people like, hey.
And meanwhile, Marty just goes, oh, don't talk about the soup. As you all recall, she's the one who ate the most of it, I
She
believe.
did.
Yes.
Did she? I thought I did.
I believe that she rolled or were you the one that rolled to guzzle it at the front because you got like a nat 20?
I can't remember.
I thought I had like one more bowl than everybody because I was like the only Constitution save on the first one.
I
There
didn't
was two that survived at the start, and then everybody failed after that.
Yeah.
But
Either way, the tiny live elven girl is kind of like holding onto her stomach like, oh.
Don't remind me.
Memories.
You all have a lovely meal and talk about good and evil a bit more in a very philosophical sense.
Yeah. I'm sure that me, being a celestial, and the tiefling would probably have to have some kind of talk about good and evil, and like, well, I'm sure you're not purposefully evil. It's just in your bloodline. But it's not you, of course. I don't judge you.
Feathers? That sounds kind of racist.
What? No, clearly, evil. I mean, there's no disputing that. I mean, that's just history.
Troy doesn't really try to argue. Just keeps like wanting to get more drinks and just lets the celestial just keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, it would say something along the lines of, it's in your bloodline, or it may have been something that happened to a family. It's not you, so there's no like hard feelings. Don't think. And as he gets more and more drunk, he's like, no, I don't hate you. I love you. You're great.
George just keeps making sure that the celestial's paying for the rounds. So.
as long as someone's buying the drink, it's okay.
Yeah. Yep. Getting free drinks. Got it.
Core will definitely launch into his spiel about being the promised child of his village and exploring the world to try and understand his power. He says it that way.
What kind of power?
And he says, "Oh, the teleporting."
Yeah, like when you were in the pit and stuff.
I don't quite know exactly how to control it.
Interesting.
How do you mean?
It just happens.
What?
It's just when I'm in trouble and I concentrate, parts of my power come out, but I can't really control exactly which ones.
So you didn't pick that, it just happened.
Yes.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
Sounds pretty interesting.
Sometimes. He kind of has this 1,000-yard stare. But I must control it. And that's why I'm joining the Wayfinders.
You think they're going to help you do that?
I mean, I don't see why not. Right?
Fair. I mean, they good, I suppose. I'm sure there's other people with the same problem in this group. Or perhaps had it previously.
He looked completely despondent for a moment when he said, "Why would they do that?" He never thought about it.
Oh, you're right. You look a little upset now.
I'm sure they have plenty of scholars who understand and can tell you and help you with controlling the powers that you have.
Right, it's never killed me.
And that's always a plus.
Not yet. I forgot what I was going to say. And then I drink some more because, we're all drunk at this point.
Nice. You all continue drinking and chatting as the night goes on. You retire to your rooms, and the next morning comes, and you get the call from a page saying, "The train should be leaving in about an hour. Please make sure that you're all ready and that you have everything you need to get on board."
Before we go, I actually did want to like go to a store.
Okay.
Is there like a perhaps enchanted knickknack store somewhere here?
Sure. There probably is. Would you have liked to do that the day before, or would you like to
It'd
try to
probably
do
be
that
smarter.
before?
Yeah, I don't want to be late.
That's fair. I tell you what, though, go ahead and make me an investigation check to see if you can find a place just kind of hunting around, because you're not from here.
Right. I also have I have to push the button. It's not good. I found a pig pen.
I will say that you found a street stall as you were going through the middle district, and you asked the vendor, "Hey, you asked the vendor if they know about a magical trinket knickknack shop," and he's like, "Yes, my trinkets are magical." And he goes on to try to convince you that all of the cute little beadings and the little Magitech RC cars that he sells, and then like you've been to the middle of a mall.
I'm not talking about the power of love and friendship. I'm talking like invisibility and shit like that.
I mean, he'll try to spin something into it, like if you wear this nice shawl, it could be as though you're invisible because you'll blend in so well with all the popular people.
And I just pat him on the head. You're full of shit. Pat, pat, pat. Wander off.
And that's what you found.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Core is ready.
Okay.
Really nothing else for me.
Yeah. He
All
has
right.
the train.
Yes, Tick.
Just as a kind of an aside, like I'm keeping my eyes out on the crowd, kind of just casing the local, looking for people who look like they don't know where they're going, similar to like my people. And I'm just looking for an easy marker here, just to kind of help fill my perspective.
Make a perception check.
That's where I'm not good.
You got to see the mark to make the mark.
I know.
Ooh, that's a nat 1.
Yeah. No.
For a
I think I'm
natural
distracted by my crew. They seem to keep getting lost.
for a natural 1 on perception, what I'm gonna say is that you are very distracted while trying to pick out a mark in the central square as you're going through to make your way to the lightning rail. Go ahead and mark off 5 gold for me as you see a small child that looks familiar running away from you into the crowd.
Oh man, that little bastard.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we're back.
At least they only took 5, right?
Yeah, I know.
He waves from the edge of a platform and then he just hops.
You can't tell me what to do.
I'll show that shitty old lady. You're like what, 16, 15?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. That's like ancient and street urchin years.
Oh, yeah.
That's an adult.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you all make your way to the rail, and you see the steel ray, which hopefully should be fine. It has the marking on it, so. The steel ray is an older but reliable lightning rail train car that has done many different jobs and is now more for transportation of bulk transport, but then also for VIPs of some situations. You see in front of you an older, gray-haired human woman, slightly shorter build, very well put together. She's wearing a full conductor's uniform and hat. It has emblazoned on it a badge of a unicorn. And she says, "Greetings to all of you. I'm going to be your conductor. My name is Cornelia Dorian. I run this train, and I have for years. If you have any questions about it, you just let me know. I'll be busy trying to make sure that everything runs smoothly for you."
I don't have any questions. I just want to tell you that you look smashing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You all look very, and she looks around at all of you and she says, eclectic.
Can you tell me how this works?
Oh, of course I can. She goes on to describe to you in great detail the way that the 2 dragon shards at the front resonate with the ones on that are placed into the ground to get it to run. Like a
roll on
levitation
Arcana?
spell.
I think he understands that, probably.
Sure.
That's the only thing he has is Arcana, so I think he understands it.
Okay.
Graf is just looking on like...
Do you want to make a check to see how well you did, or you good?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
All right.
fine. It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. I think with her explaining it, you're like, okay, I think I understand. It's magic. It makes it move forward.
Yeah. I would just stick to her until we have to get on the train.
Yeah. You see that she gathers all the passengers, and there's a few people. You guys are let to the back of the train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shift us to my map.
Oh no, I'm shifting.
Nope, that's the wrong one. Well, screw me. To a regular style passenger coach.
Okay.
As you're moving around, you get explained to you that there are meal cars. There is some treats and snacks that you can get. You can also, there's obviously a place that's like kind of an open wash area if you need to be cleaned, but it's basically what it does is it does a prestidigitation spell. You get into a little spot and cleans you up. There's as many amenities as you can imagine would be for this sort of thing, but you guys notice you're not riding first class, certainly. So, and as you are walking through the cars, I would like everyone to make me a perception check, making it to your seats.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not good for me.
I noticed
Nope.
stuff.
You do. Graph, as you are... Oh. And so does Jorah. As you guys are walking through, you know how you have to walk through first class to get to second class?
Mm-hmm.
As you walk through first class, you see a very tall warforged sitting through the window of one of the carts. And then as you keep walking by, you see a hooded girl with red hair poking out.
Yeah.
She's following us.
You also see, but she's in the first class, one of the booths. As you're going through there as well, you see a very dapper looking gentleman with a tall top hat that has a bunch of gears and bobbins and bits around all of his work, sitting there fiddling with something in his cart. You also see a woman playing with a what looks like a miniature drake in one of the little places as well. And then finally, there should be one more. Sorry, gotta check my handouts.
My handwriting is so bad.
I'm happy
It's in
for
character.
you. Also see
Out of character.
That's right.
And this is only for Graph. As you're walking, you see a very well-to-do looking gentleman in second class with you all, just kind of with the what's the name of the Gazette? There is a Gazette that comes from Sharn. It might just be the Sharn Gazetteer. Either way, holding the paper over his face, and he peeks over the paper and looks at all of you with a discerning eye, and then flips the paper back up. He is wearing a goofy, like, not a fedora. It is
A trilby?
what? A,
A trilby.
it might be. Which one's the trilby? Let me see.
Well,
It's the one that everyone thinks is a fedora, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the trilby. And then he's also got a little pipe, and the pipe has like a little tiny gem at the back of it, and it glows a little bit red as smoke comes out of it.
So like an auto pipe.
It's like a jewel, but you know, with magic.
magic science.
It's
Yeah.
when you talk to him, he's like, "It's better for you because you don't get all the smoke." He takes a huge hit of what is essentially just raw magic, and you're like, "I don't think that's how that works."
Comes out, smells like strawberry.
Yeah, exactly. And so you all make your way to your seats, and you get along on the journey.
Is it just seating, like rows of seats, or we also have cabins?
So you all don't have cabins. The cabins are the first class, and they're kind of like two-seaters essentially.
Did you guys
And-
see that snooty girl is on this train up there?
I nod and I say, yeah, I think she's a little bit of sour grapes. Not a very good winner, or loser, I should say.
Yes, I wonder if she's following us for some reason.
Technically, we're following her now.
Which girl?
The one who was mad that we won. Poked me in the face almost.
Oh. No, I
Red
didn't
hair,
see her.
bright green eyes.
No, she's up in the cabins with the snooty folk.
Cora's head is like out of the window, just looking at the track.
The track, even though I've laid it like a regular
Right, yeah.
track because of the assets, the track is like you see on the picture
Yeah.
how it has like that line of like conductors,
Mhm.
and that it floats. It doesn't actually have rails.
Right.
And so as things start, you see that the front manifolds that are popped out have this arc that goes over it like a giant wing almost, and that almost resembles like a manta ray. And you're like, oh, steel ray. That's probably where that name comes from. As you're looking out the window, and then the thing just goes like a magnet or like a magnet roller coaster, just goes boom out of the station.
Nice.
And you get a
Does
face
it-
full of wind. Yeah, exactly. Like a dog out the
Yeah.
window, just like.
And
Does
that's
that send us
actually
back into our seat.
Yeah. I am.
That's Cora
Cora's
right now.
very excited for that. Yeah.
So it jolts core. Everyone who's sitting inside, it does not jolt you.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
You imagine that there is some extensive enchanting on this train.
Are we going yet? Look out the
You
window.
see core just go clunk in the window.
Yeah. Just bouncing around. This
And-
is great.
You do see as the city of Sharn begins to leave you at a fairly rapid pace. At this point, I would like for everybody to roll me 1d6, starting with the one who got the highest perception score most recently, Graph.
Hey, yeah.
Nice. Maybe. Probably.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Uh-huh.
All right, Jor got us 4, and then from there it's going to be Kor and then Azazia.
Yes.
As you guys are going, you notice that. Oh shit! What are the names? Hold on.
How did we both get ones?
Oh boy. Always a good time.
Azazia reroll.
Okay.
You guys can't get the same thing.
Oh, okay.
You all notice that Marty hangs out for about a few hours, and then she kind of clutches her stomach, flags one of the servers, and whispers into their ear, and they escort her to the first class.
I forgot she was a snooty too.
That's right.
And she waves to all of you and says, I feel really bad. I'll be back in a bit. And rolls out for the time being. Marty will not be appearing in this episode. She is going to have a terrible time with that soup that you all had.
Gotcha.
Well, I did this.
Yeah.
As you're moving forward, moving to go to the cleaning, like the shower essentially, Graph, you go, and as you go to open the door opens in front of you, and out steps Nadara, and she just looks up at you and just, really? Why are you still around? Why are you here? Why can't I seem to escape from you and your ragtag group of assholes?
We didn't really do anything to you, you know. We just happened to win something that you wanted. You could probably still... You're still going the same way. Why don't you just go talk to them or something? Is this what you want? Then go get it.
I don't get to go where I want. I get to go back to Stormholm. Wait, let me check that name so that I get it right. I have a giant map. Give me a moment.
Let me unfold these documents.
Oh my. And then he did.
That is a giant map.
Yeah.
I was right. Stormholm. Heck yeah, go me for paying attention to this lore I'm trying to use. So she says, I go home to Stormholm now because that's what I have to do.
It seems to me, if you have more than 2 gold in your pocket, you can do whatever the hell you want. Why don't you come with us?
Have you ever had a Dimadani chase you down across a continent?
Depends on if you're chasing me down right now.
I'm not, and I'm not a Dimadani.
I don't know what that is.
Or actually, no. You know what she says? I'm sorry. It's not a Dimadani. I'm using the wrong family. She says, "Have you ever had a Thrask chase you around a continent?"
No, I don't know what that is.
It's one of the dragon-marked houses. They're the way of finding house. They find anything that is asked of them as long as they have enough preparation and material.
Why don't you just send a letter home says you have to do something else quick? This is all very logical stuff. You seem like a smart girl. You should come up with this yourself.
She looks at you almost in disbelief for a moment. You've never heard of dragon-marked houses, have you?
Not really.
Where are you from?
Ass backward town.
I've never heard of that place.
You wouldn't have heard of the real name either.
She kind of, you know what? Make me a persuasion check. She says, she almost chuckles, but then her eyes harden a bit, and she says, "Look, I wouldn't understand someone who's not housed to know what it's like. All right? I appreciate you trying to solve my problem for me, but believe me, if I haven't been able to do it yet, you're not going to help. You don't know what you're talking about."
That is true.
Now, if you'll excuse me, and she brushes past you in the corridor.
Goodbye. Have a good trip.
She just storms off. All right, let's see. So that was 6. I can't believe you rolled that.
Why?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Because I was like, wouldn't it be funny if? And then you rolled the right number. I was like, God damn it! All right. Let's see. The next one was a 4, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
Jorah, are you available?
I am.
Oh, I had you on mute. Jorah, as you are looking around at people, I assume you're trying to see about marks in this place as well.
Yes.
A little bit of light larceny while you're on your vacay.
Yeah, but I'm looking for things. I'm mostly just seeing who looks like they have something that's kind of they're not paying attention. I'm looking for people who are whistling, daydreaming, reading, stuff like that. And I'm just looking for easy to get to pockets or something hanging.
Make me a perception check.
This character is killing me.
Rolls aren't doing so well today, but that's
No.
okay.
Yeah.
You
I
guys will
know.
pick up.
I'm bummed
Yeah,
about
that
that persuasion roll.
Oh, of course, the 4 is first.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to say that when you do this, you see a man in a trilby behind you and just kind of like tap you on the shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "That man right there has been nodding on and off all day. Seems like he might have a certain bit. And the passenger car is back that way." He begins to basically describe the dispositions of all of the marks in the car.
Oh no.
And then he says, "But of course," and he shows you his badge. He is a D. Madani, one of the members of House Madani, which is the House of Inquisitors.
Okay.
They are basically like police for hire.
Oh,
He says,
yeah.
"Of
Which
course,
you're familiar with."
you would be." And he says, "Of course, if you did anything, I'd know. And then, as the person hired to protect this train and make sure that nothing goes out of place, I would have to report you to the authorities."
So Jorah just kind of looks at him up and down. She kind of studies him. She smiles and she says, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Of course you don't. And he smiles back at you. This man basically looks like Benedict Cumberbatch with elf ears.
Awesome. Okay, the blonde version.
Yes.
Oh, that one's just so creepy.
His eyes twinkle blue and he says, hold on one second. Let me...
That's a really nice policeman if you think about it.
Yeah, really.
Hey, he's private. He's not actual
Yeah.
police.
Hi,
He's probably bored.
come here.
Mm-hmm. But if he can prevent the crime, it's less work on his end.
Yeah.
Yes. And he says, "My name's Archibald. It's a pleasure to meet you. Your name?"
I just say Jorah.
"Well, I hope that we have a wonderful time with each other on this trip, Jorah. If you'll excuse me." And he tips his trilby and makes his way back to his seat.
Okay, once his back is turned, I'm going to be like just kind of grumble.
Oh, by the way, here is the note for the girl.
The redhead.
Also, the note for her Warforged boy. So that you guys can see all these handouts. Let's see. Who rolled the 2? Did someone roll a 2?
I think it was when you re-rolled. Because we both rolled a 1.
Yeah.
I
My
rolled the 1.
Yeah, my reroll was a 5.
A 5. Okay, so you have a 1 and a 5?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who got the 1?
I did.
You did? Charles, that's the conductor. You basically, I'm gonna guess that you would have some time to go and talk to the conductor and basically pick her brain about how the lightning rail works.
Absolutely.
So she says, "Oh, I don't usually get that many people as interested in the cause. Mostly they just care about the effect. It's nice. It's refreshing." She shows you a way around, and she shows you where the gems are mounted, and the dragon shards that glow and are held in a field around the front car. She explains to you how the whole thing is in a shell that extends only to the windows on the sides, but also extends
To the
5
walls.
feet above the car itself for safety, and that it is a shell of it basically makes it so that you don't feel the force of the movement.
And Cora will be incredibly cordial and hang from every single word. Absolutely.
All right. And that's the interaction that you have on the train.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the one from Azazia, You, as you are moving about and in the dining car, you see a gentleman playing around with trinkets. This is the gentleman that Jorah and Graf saw earlier. He's a middle-aged older man who seems to be keeping to himself, but you notice that he's got this fascinating like thing that looks like a cube, and then he switches a few things around on it and it turns into like a tetrahedron. And he switches it and it moves into other shapes. At one point it pops into the shape of an animal. And
Oh,
then,
very cool.
And he is playing around with that. And he sees you eyeing that, and he looks up to you and says, "Oh, well, hello there. It's a pleasure. My name's Carlos. I'm from the House of Cannith. And you are?"
Good to meet you. I'm Azazia. Just a new member of the Wayfarers on my way up north.
You must mean the Wayfinders.
Yes, that is exactly what I mean. Like I said, I'm new.
Fair enough. He tosses you the ball that is currently a tiny chicken made of metal. He says,
I don't know what to do with this.
"Go ahead and make me it can be an Arcana check, or you can use just intelligence." Oof. Okay, so with
not great.
We're saving our good rolls. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
I can't wait for you guys to roll above 10s normal. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be
So you poke around it a little bit, and the chicken kind of goes "Bark," and bites you.
Like, throw it back at him.
Yeah, he catches it, and you see he like swirls it in his hand, and it turns into a sphere, and he pockets it. He says, "Sorry, it's a toy that I play with sometimes. I do a lot of inventing. I happen to be a member of the Kenneth House, which means, of course, that I'm with the Maker's mark." And he
Very
shows
nice.
you on his neck that there's a glowing tattoo.
So he makes whiskey.
I didn't mean to say that, but there it is. Yes.
And now it's canon.
Exactly. House Cannon.
House cannon. He looks
They
at you
make
and
rum.
just kind eyes you a little bit and just says, I can't imagine someone who's not a part of my house would be able to mess with one of those very proficiently. We tend to be the only ones who make things correctly. It's just how it works with dragon marks, you know?
I'll have to take your word for it. I am not of any of those houses.
You should. It's no problem to be anybody else. It's just the dragon mark houses are better at things than others, certain things here and there. If you want to continue having a conversation, he will lecture you on what House Kenneth has made.
Yeah, I probably would, just as something to pass the time and to learn.
He
I like learning.
regales you. What he basically says is House Kenneth is responsible for a lot of the different inventions that exist in this world. For example, even though Orion owns the trains, Kenneth are the ones who manufactured them. Orion are just the only ones who can run them. The same is true of airships. Airships were made by House Kenneth. However, they can only be run by a member of House Lorandar because of the attunement with the particular elemental stone that they have. He tries to explain to you the nature of elemental stones, which is what tends to make the lightning rail runs off lightning elemental stones, and the airships tend to run off fire elemental stones. Put in a certain array, they're able to be configured and controlled, manipulated by the different houses who have that ability, and that's what makes them all actually work in the first place. But they would never work if it weren't for House Kenneth. Also, and Lud is walking by. He also says, and this machine, for example, and Lud, the bodyguard of Nidara, he looks down and says, "I am not a machine. I am a sentient being, and I am a member of the Warforged race." He says, yes. These creations were made by my house from scratch.
Ooh.
We made Warforged, and we put them into production. They were one of our finest inventions, and it's a shame that we can't still make your race. I was one of the main engineers when it came to the latest batch, and you see that Lud says, "Yes, I remember you, Carlos de Kenneth. You were a very cruel and very terrible person who would use all of us that came back from the war too damaged to continue as experiments to make better versions. And Carlos just kind of smiles and says, yes, quite efficient, wouldn't you say?
Is
And
that
Lud
Top
looks
Hat
back-
Man, by the way?
Yes, that's Top Hat Man.
Top Hat Man.
And Lud says, yes, very efficient. More efficient than a blow to the head. And then just keeps moving forward.
Interesting.
Am I allowed to have, like, walked by and sort of, like, listened, or is this a one-person thing?
I would say it's fair for all of you to share and share alike once you're back,
Once we get
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I definitely would.
If you want to be there, I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell you you can't be. Absolutely.
Just, like, wander by with some other goal, stop, lean back, come back and listen.
You can definitely be around the corner.
Would I get the idea that is it would it be like evil that of what he was doing, or is it just a completely different mindset of what Warforged are or were?
Make me an insight check. I'm going to get you guys to roll high one of these times. There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
With a 19, you know that this man is not necessarily evil. However, he doesn't see Warforged as people. He sees them as tools made by his family.
Okay.
And since they made them from scratch, even if they, he explains, even if they mimic sentience, it's all a trick. They aren't really people at the end of the day. They were creations from scratch by us, and we're no gods. We don't give things souls.
Interesting. Okay. I guess a lot of this would be sort of internal monologue with myself of like, okay, so am I wrong about what they are? Do I think they're real people?
I would say with an insight roll like that, you can see that
Like the chicken thing that just bit me. Is it no different? Like just a smaller tool, a smaller object?
I wouldn't say you'd be able to say that for certain. However, you get the feeling that this is more, if it's not intentional ignorance on this man's part, it's genuinely that he is just socially incapable of understanding that things that aren't born normally have a soul or a purpose or matter.
Okay.
He sees Warforged as what they were. They were originally constructs to fight in the last war. Now that they don't have a war to fight anymore, they're being repurposed, but Kenneth has also been given a kibosh on making them. Like, they're not allowed to make them from scratch anymore.
Oh, okay.
And he explains to you how that means that he has to work with what he has. He has to be, in order to understand and move forward with the technology that is Warforged, they have to work with what already exists because that's within the rules.
Okay.
And so you have a conversation with that man.
Yeah, and afterward, I thank him for the information, and I will hope to see him at a later time. If I make my way back.
Great. With that,
So, the reason I asked that question earlier is because from that conversation, I learned that Snooty McAngryface is from the house that runs airships. Yes.
she is.
Yeah.
Good catch.
So if I was allowed to learn that, yeah, then I'm gonna go look for her.
Okay. You would find her. This is her here. Oh, wait. God dang it. Those are. When you make a handout, Charles, it doesn't let you actually make a token attachment to it, which is kind of upsetting.
It is a weird thing that they do.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
They're neat though. Don't have to write all that stuff down. Oh my gosh, I was wondering what that was. It's the lid to the train car. That's so cool.
Really cool.
I went all out.
Yep.
Thanks, James.
Hey, I like you guys a lot.
This is me walking down the train car, walking really slow. It's
All
okay.
right, so if you want, you can be here, and you know where her train car was because as you saw her go back to it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna
Just
bust
trying
up
to
in
put
there.
people on the map for you guys.
That's fine. Bust up in there, kind of, not like actually bust up in there. Be maybe a little bit reserved even, because I'm going into first class and I don't want them to kick me out.
Very wise.
Okay,
Make-
that makes sense.
Make me a stealth check.
Okay.
Gotta sneak in to get those good cookies.
5. Except it's a 9, I think.
It's a 9. You have a
Okay.
good stealth roll.
Mhm.
You don't think that you're the stealthiest person in the world, but you're not like thrown out.
Okay. I mean,
So
I'm
you
not.
make your way to their door.
I'm not trying to like sneak in. I just don't. I'm just not trying to, be like, "What up?" like I normally am.
Right. Gotcha. Cool.
That would be stealth for you.
Yeah.
So where are you? Are you just gonna open it and walk in, talk to them, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, walk over, figure out where she is, walk over to her seat. Maybe if there's room,
So-
I might. What's up?
So a la Harry Potter, they are in like cars.
Okay.
Like
So I have to like
so
peek in. Do they have windows?
They do have windows, and they have like the door that kind of pulls forward and back.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do
Little
the
sliding
craziest thing.
entryway.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the craziest thing ever. Once I find her car, I'm going to knock on it instead of just busting up in there.
So you knock.
Wow.
Just knock.
She looks up, and Lud looks up, and Lud like jolts for a second, and you see him, like his left hand is like a mace,
Oh, cool.
or like a mace pops out of it into his hand, and then he looks over and says, "Oh."
So I just like wave in the window.
He waves back, and she glares, and then glares at Lud, and you don't hear what she says to him, but Lud just kind of goes, "Oh."
Oh,
You assume it was, "Don't wave at him."
I'm a girl.
Right.
She looks over to you, and then looks back down at whatever she was doing, and then looks over. You don't go away, do you?
No, still waving. Like point at myself, point in.
Can I help you?
Yeah. I just heard. I learned something in a train. I heard that your family is the one that does the airship stuff. Is that true? Yeah.
Yes.
Listen,
my
I'm not-
family's
I'm
the
not
one
going
that
to
does
ask
the
you for
airships.
anything. Don't give me a face where you think you're going to be upset. I was just thinking, because we were talking about it before, that if you have to go home, perhaps you could talk to somebody, and borrow an airship, go up to the Wayfinder place, so you could talk to them there. It would be faster travel.
Make me an insight check. Let's see if you guys can hit a roll today.
Ooh.
Hey, there we go. Graf, it occurs to you. As much as you weren't necessarily paying attention to much of the city as Jorah was showing you around, one of the things you do remember Jorah saying was that this is one of the hubs for the airships, and that there is a very large centralized airship hub. This person, if they are a high up member of the Lorandar family, has no reason to be on the lightning rail, especially
I actually thought of that too.
and now your character thought of it.
Yeah.
There's seriously no good reason for her to be on this. She could have easily gotten a ship or an airship home.
So, character having realized that, I'm like offering this good advice, and I'm just gonna go, by the way, what are you doing on this train?
You see her incredulity as she's looking at you originally immediately turn into seeing you catch a beat, and she actually has a little bit of blush come to her face as she goes, I'm allowed to travel however I want. I'm one of the members of a noble house.
You weren't supposed to be here, right? You entered without asking, without telling him that you were part of the house. You're not even supposed to be here.
I don't have to answer questions from you. You are not an authority. You are not a member of another house. And she kind of flummoxes for a second. And Lud says, "Ma'am, are you all right?" I'm fine, Lud. If you don't mind, I'm really tired, and I would like to be left alone.
I mean, I could leave you alone, but I think that fate has brought us together. I really think that this is something that you want. If you are avoiding your family, sneaking around trying to get there. And I think perhaps me and my friends could help you.
What a very sweet world you live in.
It is, isn't it?
And
you
she
could live
slams
in
the
it
door
too.
on your face.
All right, that's fine.
And then she grabs up at the blinder and goes,
I hope you don't do this to everyone who tries to help you. You know where I'll be. Because I get to
peeks it up
go.
peeks up a little
And I
bit of a
walk
crack,
off.
and it's just like, I can't hear you.
Okay. And I go back. And because I'm now leaving the first wow brain.
As you
First class.
turn around, one of the concierges is like, "Sir, are you having trouble finding your seat?"
I am a lady. And I'm leaving. Don't worry about it.
My apologies, ma'am. I'm so sorry. You're pretty buff, right?
Yeah, I'm super buff.
Yeah.
He immediately, like, you catch him with that, and he's just like, if you chair seat, and he just kind of walks off.
And I go back and I sit down with everybody and I kind of like recount what I've been doing with this snooty girl just to see what they all think.
Yeah, I'll recount my story between Lud and the engineer, or the member of Household Canon.
Is James is the guy that I talked to, the finder person, the not the rent-a-cop? Is he still in our car?
Rent-a-cop.
Wow.
Yes, he is actually in your car. If you
Okay.
guys can see on the map,
Yeah.
that's him right there.
They're not watching the hoity-toities. They're watching us.
Yeah. They know who's gonna
You
go.
imagine
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Sky Marshal thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys noticed that he was a bit out of place because of your perception scores earlier. However, if you're not looking too close, he looks like he very easily could just be here because he doesn't want to pay for first class.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna kind of get everyone's attention, and I go, oh gosh, how would she say it? She'd say, that person's from a house that the redhead is trying to stay away from, apparently.
Hmm.
Or at least she was complaining about them. And he really, his presence makes this ride not so much fun anymore.
Trying to keep
Oh,
going
you're
straight
not
and narrow.
fun anymore.
Yeah. Like, oh. Kind of crimping my style.
You, as you say that, you look up to see him wink at you and tip his hat.
Oh.
I notice this and I say, I like your rat.
He doesn't shout across to you, but he does say,
It's a very
All
neat
cool.
ad, don't you think?
It's not bad.
All Core got out of that was there are airships,
Yeah.
and she knows people who can get him there. So that's cool.
That Snooty girl, her family is the ones that have the airships. And I
Wouldn't
was
she
like,
be better at driving? He thinks too.
You-
He thinks out loud.
you would think so, eh?
it occurs to you that she almost kept up with you guys, even though she never did any bonus bullshit.
Oh, nice.
I mean, he's being dumb.
And
Yeah.
that, no, I'm saying
Yeah.
because anybody who remembers how well she kept
Mhm.
up, like, she gets a very good roll for doing that exact thing.
Right.
And she rolled a nat 1 at the end at disadvantage because she was really punching it.
I just wanted to make her anime sneeze.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Well. So I think she's here without the knowledge of her family. And I really did try to get her to come with us because I thought she might be useful. But she slammed the door in my face.
How very rude of her.
I thought so. And I rubbed my nose again.
I kind of to, look at Graf and go, wonder why she wants to get away from her family.
She wants to be a wayfinder, and she's not allowed. I'm sure they told her no. She didn't so much tell me that, but I definitely guessed, and she definitely flipped out as if I was right.
Jorah, have you had any interactions with noble houses? This would normally be a Marty thing, but she's not here.
I would say to a small degree, only if I was ever hired to procure anything from someone else in the noble house.
As a citizen of Sharn, you know that the way that the noble houses work is their life is determined for them, much in the same way that a noble from, I'm going to relate it to you by saying something like the British family in the crown.
Yeah.
They have their suitors picked for them because, specifically, pairings between houses of different marks have sometimes catastrophic effects. So you have to marry very specifically someone that is picked out for you, usually sometimes at birth even. You have your life the way that it is given to you by your house, and you are required to help with the house business if you are a standing member.
Okay.
Meaning that she probably has a ship with her name on it at some point that
Yeah,
she
sure.
will be required to run or to pilot for the family.
Okay.
Core definitely wants to own a train and an airship. That's about what's going through his head right now.
I don't know why she doesn't just ask her family if she can pilot the airship for the Wayfinders. It seems like a perfect match to me, but slam a door in my face.
I think Jorah would then try to explain to Graf the inane complexities of the wealthy and the privileged that come with the House of the Mark. And he's probably not going to do a really good explanation of it for the fact that Jorah's not from one of those houses, so it's all kind of mysterious. But
Graf, it sounds like a real big mess of bullshit. Like,
yeah.
Well, that sounds like a real big mess of bullshit, like.
There it is. All right, let's see. Do I have everything set and in place? All right. At this point, there is something that can happen on this train. I need either whoever is nominated, I need them to roll a D100.
Whoa.
Oh.
Who would like to? One of you choose, and you roll a D100.
Who wants to roll for our doom?
Let the angel. Let the angel.
Yeah,
do it, Angel boy.
Angel probably has better luck than the tiefling, though. Yeah.
Core's not good at random thing. Oh boy, that's
we're going low, right?
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you all are traveling, you notice that over the intercom comes in, this is your conductor, Cornelia de Oren. The train has had to stop. There is debris in the road, and there is a danger to the rail if we continue. We're going to have to get it cleared up, but that is going to take some time. If you all don't mind, please remain relaxed. We will continue. We've got more than enough supplies regardless of how long this takes us, and this is a main route, so it shouldn't take long to clear up. At that point, you all are basically, you notice the horizon stop moving, but of course you don't feel anything from the movement, and you move forward from this by taking some time, and eventually, let's see, which one was it? You hear a scream.
Okay.
After about a few hours of the train, you guys at this point were within it had been, I said, a week past while we were doing all of this,
Mhm.
essentially. And so it was, you guys were, I'm going to give it a little more time before this particular event happens. You guys were essentially a day out from Fairhaven at this point.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean, Core
Um,
had to resist the urge to go and clear up the blockage himself.
You look out and you do see that it is pretty bad.
Okay.
And
This seems like a bandit thing in a Wild West story.
When you had said that there was a scream, you say, so we've been stopped for 16 hours, and then we hear this scream?
it's been 6 hours.
Oh, 6 hours, okay.
And then you hear the scream.
Jor would have been out of her mind,
Um,
absolutely bored, and would have just kind of like paced the different cards as far as she was allowed to go, just to kind of see what's everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
just to get a lay. That's it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just to get a lay. Nice. Hey, that
Yeah.
Archibald boy, he's pretty cute.
Yep.
You, as you are patrolling through the car, or here, how do I want to do this? Essentially, when you hear the scream, does anybody go check on it?
Certainly.
Sure.
You check on it and you see a well-dressed woman, older, standing outside of the Kenneth's car. And you hear her say, "He's dead. He's dead. He's been murdered."
The Kenneth, the
Inventor?
The inventor
The
dude?
inventor. Yep.
Serves him right. He was an asshole. But I say it really
And-
quietly so nobody else can hear me.
Serves him right. He was an asshole.
What
And
did
as you hear that, you see Archibald stand bolt upright, turn around, adjust his hat, and say, "I'm on the case." And I guess we'll take like a 5 or so minute
Sure.
break at this point, if you all don't mind.
Yeah.
Sure.
That works for me.
All
And
right.
then we will come back to a murder mystery
Ooh,
Bum,
on a
bum,
train.
bum.
That's never been done before.
so original. So original.